So with that being said, we welcome Jared Allen with Bullybag.
Good morning, Sedalia, Missouri. As she said, my name is Jared Allen. I'm the founder of Bullybag and Tool Company. We got our start, I guess, technically going all the way back to 2011, when I was first deployed on my first large catastrophe. Go ahead again. But how I got there really was going back to Midland, Texas in 2008, 2009. And I met the catastrophe adjuster, and I said, man, what do you do? Is it fun, so on and so forth? He said, yeah, absolutely, I love it. But I found myself in Midland, Texas, which if anybody's ever been to Midland, Texas, it is basically the definition of grit, okay? And what I found is that as I was out there selling roofs and as I was out there meeting with adjusters, I didn't have the right gear to be successful, and they didn't either. Okay, they were just getting along with what they could get, more of a generic type of product. It impacted me so much that I went ahead and I got my adjuster's license, and I was deployed 2011 as a CAT adjuster in Kansas City, Missouri. For those of you who don't know, catastrophe adjusters are essentially the second responders. After the police, the EMS, firefighters come in, they mitigate the situation. In come the contractors and the adjusters to make everybody whole again. Okay, when you're talking catastrophes like Hurricane Irma, Harvey, Florence, these things get really real and really nasty. If I had a picture up here, I would show you a picture of my very fancy Ford Ranger, 2004 Ford Ranger that I used during Hurricane Sandy, which was essentially my hotel. Hurricane CAT adjusters belong in the group of 40 hours a week is a part-time job. I have some photos here we're going to skip over. Several of those photos show a lot of decimated properties. And please loot, could use the target practice, things of that nature. It gets pretty hairy. What Bullybag was founded on is to not be essentially your daddy's tool bag. Okay, we don't want to be your nail bag, the generic electrician's pouch, if you will. We are a solution, industry tool solution for certain niches, specifically tools of your trade in particular, okay? For example, like a surgeon could use a kitchen knife to perform surgery, but why? They have scalpels for a reason. But the struggle was real to get there. The one I'm wearing right now, this is the paddle version. It took 5 years in design and nearly 2 years in field testing before we went to market. And 2016, after returning back home from Hurricane Matthew, I prototyped the first Bullybag Ultra Pouch, tried it out, took that and started field testing it all the way through Hurricane Irma. And I said, wow, we're really onto something here, okay? My productivity level went through the roof. Irma was the most successful storm I've ever had. Profits were wonderful. Speed. I said, we've got a solution here. Right? Well, my next picture I have up there actually shows the prototype, which is just a really gnarly bag made out of just, denier and not fancy at all. But it gets the point across that it doesn't really matter what it looks like as long as it functions as best as possible, and that's really what it came down to. So this is the high-speed, low-drag field success here. There are 12 pouches in all on this one pouch here. Okay, you got your main pouch and auxiliary pouch, 2 side pouches for like linear tools, like say a pry bar, maybe a shingle gauge, things of this nature, linear small tools. Okay, then inspectors and estimators typically carry around pretty expensive gear. Home inspectors carry what's called a FLIR. Adjusters carry what's called, a laser measure. These items can run $500, $1,000 pretty easy. So the idea to make sure that they're protected was very important. So all 3 of the outer pouches have elastic band ridges built into them. 4 large 1-inch D-ring powder-coated D-rings, and of course your business card holster, because every time you get up there, oh yeah, sorry, it's in the truck. Okay, not anymore. It's actually on you. You got a hang loop, and then this one comes on a paddle. It's 15 ounces in all with a 5-year manufacturer's warranty. How we ended up manufacturing them was pretty incredible, because after we went to prototype, I said, well, now who do I have to make it? And finding someone here in the U.S. to make it was really difficult. It was exhausting. Couldn't find anyone. Couldn't find anyone overseas. And so I happened upon a fella by the name of Helm, and he turned out to be the supply and manufacturer for the United States Marine Corps reconnaissance team, which worked out good. Worked out good because that's the namesake of our company. I'm a Marine, and Marines love their bulldogs, okay? The bulldog mascot goes back to 1922, with the first one being called, I believe, Mr. Jibbs. Since then, it's been called Chesty, named after the highest decorated Marine of all time, Chesty Puller. Yeah, we'll get past that one there. Okay, so what is our niche? You can't really sit there and just have one small niche of possibly 50,000 customers as your, and stay in business and hope that all 50,000 buy your product, right? It's probably not going to happen. So our niche is daily cat and flat adjusters, okay? Roofing inspection and sales. People, that come along and they knock on your door, and anytime you got a hailstorm or windstorm, you're like, oh man, everybody's hitting up this house pretty good. Trying to get on your roof, let me do a free inspection. Very big customers for us. The project managers, contractors, estimation, pros, home inspectors is a very, very big element for us as well, okay? So if it's an inspection or an estimation type process, realtors actually as well, interestingly enough too, then that's our niche, okay? Slinging a nail bag for doing the actual installation, the installing the roof, a framer's kit, we're not going to get into that. There's 100 or 1,000 different types of those that you can go out and buy, but there's only 1-2 companies that specialize in estimation and inspection products, and we're the leader. We became the leader a little over a year after being in the business. We incorporated in 2018, but we officially founded in 2016, so I think we're still just in there. Sales to date have been, since taking stock August 29th, 2018, a little over 3,000 units of just our Ultra Pouch versions, which we have 3 different versions of. Field engineers, appraisers, cleaning techs, interior designers, architects, and university students. Really a big one there for us. I'm almost done. So as we were going along, I said, well, we really need to expand the brand, so we did. So we took over a brand that's been in existence since 1966 called AccuLine. Not sure if anybody's in here has heard of them. They were the originators of the straight line draw without a ruler system, which is great. What we did is we took it and we turned it into a board, and a double-sided clipboard at that, so you can draw straight lines without a ruler, okay? Really great for your home inspectors, your adjusters, your flooring installers. Sell a ton to those. This has been a really great product, especially since we improved on the design. And one more. Oh, yeah. Those are available actually for custom logo printing. So that would have been my next screen. The sidebar. So another thing that was, as I'm out there in the field and I'm lifting up these shingles and I'm gouging my fingers, my knuckles, I said, well, what I really need is I need an inspection pry bar that's made for us. So I made it. We actually have a patent on the pry bar, which is actually saying something because it's a pry bar, But what we did is we designed the pry bar so that it pries on one side and it's able to remove vinyl, steel, and aluminum siding on the other. So it's great for your siding installers, for your inspectors, for your adjusters, what have you. That's a video. There, right there. Yeah, we'll skip over that one. I'm probably getting close on my 6. Huh? Okay. The Alpha Tool Pack, this is another product that we came out with last year. It is a comprehensive, we originally designed it for electricians and datacom personnel. We had some requests and we fulfilled it, and it's an outstanding tool backpack for carrying all of your tools. The one that we carry whenever me and my handy persons go out in the field, I think we've got probably about 100 pounds worth of gear inside there, handles it just fine. So we don't perform a lot of services, so to speak. Most of everything that we do is product-based, okay? So that the service professional can do their job more effectively. However, for that owner, for that GM, we do offer a service called a new hire onboarding service, which is where you go online, you say, look, these are the products that I know every time I hire somebody I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need an ultra pouch, I'm gonna need this, I'm gonna need that, I'm gonna need this gauge, I'm gonna need this gauge. And so that's great, cool. You submit it, one phone call, one email, either way, to us. We're gonna send it out the same day, it's packed up, ready to go. For whatever reason, we're not really sure why. We haven't had a lot of penetration on that, only a few clients, but I know as being a former contractor and owner, wow, this is awesome, because you can spend a whole day or two and still come up short on the tools you need for your people to get out in the field to do their job. So good product there. And how can 1 million cups help us? Well, your ideas, your input, okay? 1 million cups is by far the best think tank I think that I have ever found. We are on what's it called, Passport? Is that right? The Passport where we go around? Yeah, I think it's called Passport. I think it's Passport. Where we go around the country and do these talks. We've done Florida, Texas, Columbia, Oklahoma, and so on and so forth. And we really, really value your input as fellow entrepreneurs and say, well, did you think about this? Did you think about that? When we're down in Dallas, for example, we got some feedback which led us down the road for more mechanical engineer equipment, which we're working on. We're right at the end of that. Corporate HR, procuring clients, insurance, company buyers, people within those organizations. Hey, let us know, let them know. Distribution awareness. This is really, 1 million cups is really great for us for getting through and making an impact into getting us distribution with clients such as SRS. Beacon is actually on deck, hopefully this week, and other large companies so that we can move more into a retail, less fulfillment online. And of course, brand awareness. That's what I've got for you today, guys. I look forward to any questions, and thanks for letting me come talk.
Does anybody have any questions for Jared?
Talk about your thing that you can make a straight edge on that clipboard again. Run through that again.
I'll let you run through it. How about that? So the Acculine brand has been around since 1966. Charles, I can't remember his last name, developed it and he patented it. Well, huh? Oh, I don't think so. Just hold your pen almost 90 degrees and just draw right straight. You got it.
Okay.
See, right? All right. Not quite 90, but 70-ish, 90-ish, somewhere in that ballpark.
Does it take a special pen or is it just the clipboard?
No. Now, that's only one version of it. We have 4 different styles of it. We actually patented the one style with the double clip. That's our top seller. Has a clip on each side. So you've got a smooth-sided clipboard and an Acculine side clipboard. Okay? That is by far, our #1 bestseller. But Acculine's been around since 1966, and the man who invented it kept the patent for many years, producing out of Tennessee. And they were always on what's just a sheet. It was an awkward size, too. It's like, why is this thing... just cut it a little bit. It was just a little bit too long one way and a little bit too wide, but sold like forever. Well, we acquired it with a former owner he just abandoned it. So we took it over. We've changed the style from the sheet to the clipboard. And we have some pressure from corporate clients that say, well, I want to put my information on the back of the sheet. I want the sheets only because they're a lot cheaper. The problem is that sheet extrusion molds are pretty expensive. I mean, in the US, you're looking at probably 75 plus, 75,000 plus just for the mold. So they get spendy. So we're working on that. Did that answer your question?
It did.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about your supply chain. Where are they made? How did you get into actual production?
Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, I might have hopped around. I'm not on my normal bit here. I met a fellow named Helm, and he was the supplier for United States Marine Corps reconnaissance armament bags. And he has a place in Vietnam. The interesting thing about Vietnam is that nationally, or should I say globally known, it's turned into like the place where you go if you really want quality, durable goods. Quality stitching, I guess you should say. Can be done here in the US, can be done anywhere, but it's kind of gotten that reputation. So that's where we had them originally manufactured, and we're actually working on our Gen 2 at this point, and we were trying to pull it back, you know. But I just don't know that we're going to be able to anytime soon. You know, I mean, to find this level of quality that we need from a 1680 ballistic nylon heavy, tack cloth has been a challenge. So welcome to any input there. Yes, ma'am.
Got a question. What's your price range? Are there minimum orders? And, do we go online and see all your products?
Sure. So this retails for roughly $80, $79.95. We do have corporate accounts for 10, and then once we get past 50, then it tiers down to 15%. They are available for custom embroidery, but what we found with that, because we supply the bags for shelter insurance, and so what we found is that, number one, it's costly. Number two, it's extremely limiting because you have to have a small hoop. Embroiders do not like messing with finished product. Let me just be real honest with you, like big sigh, when they bring it into it. So you got to have a hoop, and the max hoop that you can fit on here is about 4 inches. Okay, it's a small hoop. Then you can only go about 1.75 inches, maybe. So what we've done now is we are supplying our custom corporate clients with woven badges, which is much higher quality, and it allows us to be able to on-site, shelter orders 5, you order 7, whatever. Cool, yeah, okay. Now we don't have to limit you and say, look, we really need 20 to make this worth our time here, or we can just supply them to you. On the Gen 2, this is going to have a 3x4 Velcro soft patch on it, and then whatever badge that you order, you just put it right on there. It's got a hard backing on it, put it right on there, and now you're custom labeled. So for embroidery, we were charging an additional $5. I don't think we're going to do that anymore. I think I got off topic, didn't I?
Well, you covered partially what I was asking. Part of the reason why I was asking, I'm a chainsaw sculptor. Oh. And so finding bags that work in the field for us, we blow through stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even my purse is an issue on a job site.
Yeah.
There's times that I need to have my personal gear.
Yeah.
So, this is right up my alley of
And
something I would be interested in.
And I bet you're big with like the videos too, with your art, huh?
Not yet. We are growing our video online tag
Right.
at the moment still. So, like I said, right now it's more on the ground.
Because you've got oil, you've got additional chains, you've got
We've got
screwdrivers, you've got bits. Yeah.
Just you name it.
Yeah.
So I saw, in regards to screws and nails and things like that, things that, $25 for a little bitty bit. I don't want to lose that.
Right.
In fact, I don't want to lose that out in somebody's yard.
Period. You don't lose a period, yeah.
And like I said, I purse alone, that's a nightmare. But anyway, so that's why I was curious is what your price point started at.
So it starts at 69 for what's called the Babson, which is a belt feed-through channel on the back. Goes 79 for the paddle. This is the paddle where it
I
just
saw that.
slides
That
right
was
in.
really interesting.
Yeah, same as like a holster paddle. You know, see they're pistol holster. And then there's the belt system, which starts about 110, and then goes up with what's called the side scribe, which is a custom-made pouch for carrying your laptop, for carrying your clipboard, for carrying your.
I killed several otter
yeah,
boxes on my
yeah.
cell phone. So like I said, I'm always looking for
Yeah.
something made much stronger.
Yeah. So that I think you'd do well with this one. Really, I do. That'd be cool to see.
So does that have a magnetic thing, or how does that hold that in there?
No, it just slides right in your britches. You want to try?
So that's it's okay, but thank you.
No, it just slides right in your britches, which is great because when we're running bait on this down in Florida, you know, it's kind of a thing. Adjusters don't wear shorts, okay? If you're running Southwest Florida, you're probably going to be wearing shorts, you know? And I was. And I didn't, you know, my shorts weren't coming off me whenever I had it on, so I thought, this is really fantastic. So, yes, sir.
I'm curious if you kind of had a point as an entrepreneur where it seemed like no matter what you were doing, you weren't getting where you needed or wanted to be. And what did you have to do to kind of get over that can, as it were?
That's distribution is what that's been a hump for us. You know, there's some bigs in the roofing supply world, which is, you know, a lot of project managers, a lot of salespeople going in there. So finding distribution was impossible. I mean, I literally drove to Benoit, Wisconsin to go talk with ABC, and I got gaffed off. They're the world's, or country's largest, I don't know about the world's largest, with roughly 1,100 stores. And it wasn't until a couple raving fan project managers I didn't even know. They just called me and said, look, I'm giving you this guy's number, and we won't leave him alone until they get your products in their stores. And then finally the managers called us and said, what's your deal? And now I had their attention. So how did we get over that hump? Just grit, I guess. I mean, just doing the thing and some good people looking out. So that's been our biggest challenge.
So kind of by personal recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because otherwise you walk into it doesn't matter whether it's Ace or a Home Depot or whatever, you're going to get the eye roll and oh, here comes another, person I got to deal with that wants me to put their product in their store. So that's been a challenge. Yes, ma'am.
So is your goal to remain independent?
Yes.
Or are you open to talking to companies that are in the tool space or that may already make a similar product? Are you wanting to stay Bullybag long term?
No, what's his, like Bezos, Jeff Bezos, there is no exit plan. This is taken my personal assets, both selling off what real estate that I did own as well. I mean, I sold my house to fund this. No exaggeration. And, the sidebar, all these tooling items, there's a pretty significant expense up front just to get the product, So unless you're super committed to it, I mean, I would have folded before getting these hooks, I can tell you that, because just the bolt for that was $22,000, and that sucked. Or wait, no, $19,800. The total tab was 22. Yeah. So, and on Gen 2, the hooks are going away. Because what I found when I was running beta, and I don't know why, I just guess I was prideful and said, no, it's got to have the hooks that I designed because it's perfect arch and everything. Is it a double S clip? You know what I'm talking about? Like an S clip with like double gates on it, right? Called an S beaner by Night Eyes. They make them. During beta, worked just fine. And now I don't even use the hooks. I just use the S beaner for my clipboard and what have you. So Yeah, there is no exit plan. Yeah. Yes, sir.
How big is the company? How many employees?
So we've roughly 5 employees, give or take, depending. We try and keep that as low as possible because, HR is quite an expense. We have, we're looking to expand that as we move into the new location, but probably not till about October. So fingers crossed. We're based out of Kansas City proper, so Parkville now, actually. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you for coming to the
Yes.
We really appreciate you taking the time out to stop Bullybag, just because this isn't something that you see just walking by the store.
Unfortunately, right?
Yes, but I guess that's good for you to grow.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
If you're up for questions after, maybe somebody wants to talk to you.
Sure.
But just thank you for coming.
You bet.
We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, ma'am.